Hey guys, I have just been having a conversation on my social media platforms and I thought I should bring it on here, and that is the Comserve conversation. If you don't follow me on any of my social media platforms, please do. I'm on Facebook as Nessie. I'm also on Instagram as I am Nessie, and on Twitter as well as on TikTok. I've been consuming a lot of TikTok videos or content, but I was not creating any. But your sis has suddenly started posting videos there and there, so do check out my page, my TikTok page. Like I said, I had this conversation of Comserve with Comserve nurses and nurses who are about to start Comserve, like student nurses who are about to start Comserve. And for those who are not in South Africa and for those who are not nurses, community service nursing or Comserve is basically the year. Okay, I think I need to put my phone on silent. It's the Instagram posts or conversation going on. So like I was saying, if you're not here, Comserve, it's basically a year after you complete your 4-year nursing program in South Africa. You are not a registered professional nurse or registered nurse at that particular time. You get to be registered at the South African Nursing Council as a community service nurse. Basically, it's like internship. Yeah, that's what it is. Before I can get into some of your comments and your concerns on the other social media platforms that we had these conversations on, I would like to share my own Comserve experience. If you are not new here, you definitely know that I completed nursing school in 2015, and then in 2016 I started my Comserve in January. I think it was the 4th of January, and I was placed in a clinic at Buitekong Clinic in Rustenburg Sub-District. I had always wanted to work in the PHC sector, as I've mentioned in many of my videos, that I've always been that student that is trying to see what is it that she likes. Is it a hospital or is it a clinic? So I was placed in a primary healthcare setting. Luckily, I always hated working night shifts. I always hated working weekends. So by God's grace, I was placed in a clinic that was a 7-4 clinic, meaning I got at work at 7, and at 4 o'clock I was knocking off sharp. I was very, very much happy with my placement. And the other thing is I was placed in a township that I actually went to a primary school in. Like my primary school, Tirlohan Primary School, is in Buitekong, and that's where I was serving. I was serving the community of Buitekong. So some of the patients there would be my primary school kids and their parents, and yeah, it was a great community to serve. I don't wanna lie. I really, really enjoyed serving that community. Alright, so we arrived. It's first day at work, and I'm the earliest of them all, obviously. When we got there, the operational manager wasn't expecting me. I don't know, it seems like the sub-district didn't tell her that she has a Comserve coming. I came in a clinic that had shortage of nurses, shortage of registered nurses to be precise. I mean, these were the years where the department was not hiring. I don't know if you guys remember, especially the Northwest Department of Health. At some point it was under administration. So there was a period when Northwest Department of Health was not hiring. So that was the period that I started my Comserve, meaning nurses would resign from the department and the department would not replace those nurses. So when we came, we were coming in a state that had shortage of nurses. So when we came in, we were utilized to a point where people would forget why we are there in the first place. Okay, sharp. First month, let's start the first day, guys. First day I get in, I am thrown into the deep. It's a Monday. They do a delegation and say, sisters, thank you, so you will go and immunize children. Like you're going to, I think it's IPI or is it EPI? Along those lines. I'm not a midwife at heart. So they were like, okay, you're going to be immunizing kids. And I'm like, okay, who am I going to work with? But you're going to work with a counselor and that's it. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine. We part ways. A counselor orientates me around the clinic to say this is a consulting room, this is your sluice room, these are your toilets, this is the kitchen, this is the counselor's room, this is the reception. Yeah, we do the clinic tour with the counselor, and after the clinic tour, hacks into my consulting room where I will be immunizing the kids. Okay, sharp. While I'm still thinking, oh my god, how am I going to do this? Because the last time I worked in immunization was 2 years ago. I mean, in nursing school, your first year, you know, it's your vital signs, like the laid back things. And then your second year, you do your immunizations. Like that's the introduction of midwifery, where I was studying, by the way. And in third year, it's going to be your labor and delivery. Fourth year, you're going to be doing your psychiatric nursing. So no more other nursings, basically, like throughout fourth year. Or it's going to be psychiatry and community, I think. Yeah, if I remember well. It was psychiatry and community, yes. So basically, I had done midwifery second year and third year. My entire whole fourth year, I was not placed in midwifery. I was not doing any midwifery. So imagine I was thrown into a midwifery department that I hadn't done in 2 years. While I was still there in that consulting room looking at the vaccinations, because some of the vaccinations were infused together like your hexavalent. When I was doing second year, hexavalent were 2 different vaccines, but when I was doing Comserve, they were infused. Okay, sharp. I'm looking at these vaccines and I'm like, okay, what is this one? You know, like I'm asking this other girl who had done her Comserve a year before me, and they were 2 of them who actually did Comserve in that clinic a year before me. So I'm asking her, I'm like, okay, like what is this drug? And then she's like, oh, this is hexavalent. While I still talk to this girl, the counselor walks in, guys, with a chunk or a pile of like Road to Health cards that were this big. Literally, they were hiding my face. And I'm like, sorry ma'am, whose books are those? Ati, these are your patients for the day. Guys, I swear to God, I think on that particular day, I immunized 72 kids by myself, alone. Guys, like I had 72 children crying in my consulting room for my first day of Comserve. Ooh, honey, I remember looking off. I was staying at home in my parents' house. Like my parents, if you've been here for a while, you know I started the channel at my parents' house. I was staying at home with my sister at my parents' house, and I walked in at home. There was a little crate there. I sat on that crate. I couldn't even get inside the house. My sister, I don't know what my sister was doing outside, but I sat on that crate and put my hand back down, and I said to my sister, I don't want to go back to that clinic. That was my first day of Comserve. I said to my sister, no, this can't be it. This is not the nursing that I signed up for. This is not what I know, what I've been taught in the past 4 years. This is not what I expected. This is not what I want to do. If this is how it is, I don't think I want to do this. And my sister said, baby girl, come on, you got to hang in there and you gotta go back and do this, because you took 4 years of your life and dedicated it to studying how to help people. So if it means it's 100 people that you have to help in a day, then you have to go back. And I did not complain on that day. I didn't complain to my operational manager. I didn't complain to any of the nurses. I just kept it moving. I figured that I need to increase my pace. Maybe this is how things are in Department of Health. Like you have to see million patients by yourself. You must skip bathroom breaks. You must skip lunchtime. You must skip tea time. On that day, I don't even remember eating, you guys. I don't remember going on tea. I definitely did not go on tea. It went on like that for a month, and I was starting to be tired. If there's one thing about me, I lack tolerance. I personally cannot tolerate injustice. And I might be quiet for a month or 2, but best believe I'm not gonna reach the 3rd month and still be quiet. I am not. I'm not the type that wears a shoe and it's uncomfortable and they continue wearing it because it looks good on other people. That is completely not me. All right, this continues, right? It continues. And there was a doctor that I love, that I still love very, very much. She's one of the people that really have been the voice that constantly reminded me that my today is not my tomorrow, and my today doesn't determine my tomorrow. And that is Dr. Kamuzinzi. She would come to the clinic. She loved me. I think it's because I'm dark-skinned and she was also dark-skinned. And she also loved listening to me talk. I love talking. I love talking about my dreams, my plans, my future. I love sharing my vision with people who are willing to listen. So she was one of those people. Every time she would come to the clinic, like on Tuesdays, I would rush to her consulting room in the morning while they are busy preparing her files and stuff, and we would have like a chat, a 20 minutes chat, talking about what I aspire to do, what I aspire to be, and my plans on getting where I want to be. So I would go to Dr. Kamzinzi's consulting room, and I would always tell her that I don't think I like how my work is turning out. I don't think how I like how I'm being treated here. I just, and it wasn't a matter of people who were like giving me attitude, like other nurses were giving me attitude or anything like that, but everyone was just minding their own business, and they seemed as though they had forgotten why I was there. They saw me as one of the relievers of the pressure that they've been enduring all these months before I arrived. And I was just getting more tired. I was getting tired of the patients, because patients at times, guys, can be so ungrateful. I am well aware that what I'm doing is my job, but skipping lunch is not part of what I signed up for. Skipping tea time is not part of what I signed up for. Skipping toilet breaks is not part of what I signed up for. So when I do those things, when I skip toilet breaks, when I skip lunch, when I skip tea time to serve you, and you still get to come and tell me that you're not happy with my service, now that is ungratefulness. And I was getting tired of it. I was getting tired of giving of myself. I would leave the clinic at 5:30, at 5 o'clock, when I'm actually knocking off at 4. At that particular moment, I did not take my tea time. I did not take my lunch break. And on the 3rd month, I was like, no, I'm not going to continue like this. I called a meeting. I called a staff meeting. And actually, I called the registered nurses and the manager. Literally, I said, guys, can we please meet at the meeting station? I've got news for you. I dished it up for them. I told them, respectfully, guys, respectfully. I did that respectfully. But I reminded them why I was there as a Comserve, that I was there to transition from being a student to being a professional. I was there to learn and to polish my skills. But if there is nobody who's available to teach me, I am going to continue to offer patients what I've learned from school. And the things that we learn from school, at times, they need to be refined to be implemented in the workplace. And I need someone to assist me, to hold me by hand and help me to implement the things that I learned from school. I reminded them that I'm not here to feel or to take off the pressure that is on your shoulders as registered nurses and as an OPM. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to fill a gap. I am here to transition from a student to a professional nurse. And if there is no one who's going to be available to assist me in doing that, then I might as well just write the district a letter and request to be shifted to another clinic. If all you guys see is a new employee, if all you guys see is a new addition to the staff, if all you guys see is a pressure reliever, then I think I'm in the wrong clinic and I think I need to go. And everybody apologized and they acknowledged that indeed they were neglecting me. They had forgotten why I was there, and they even confessed with their mouth that, and it's funny because we were not like this last year. We had 2 Comserves and we were giving them full support. We're just going through a lot this year and we forgot what is our responsibility towards you. People apologized. And going forward, of course, there were those who changed, those who availed themselves to me, and those who assisted me, and others were just like, We don't care, cha. We don't care. And I was okay with that, not everyone is going to be there for you in the workplace. Not everyone is going to like you in the workplace. Not everyone is going to be willing to impart knowledge on you in the workplace. And it's okay. It's okay. You don't sit in a situation that you're not happy about and keep quiet and keep it moving and you scream for help. At nursing school, where I studied, there's a lecturer who took time out to come and teach us about being assertive in the workplace. I think they taught us those things to also implement them in our careers. I did not only learn how to manage a person, but I also learned how to be an advocate. And if I'm saying I'm going to be an advocate for my patients, then it means I should also be able to advocate for myself. I mean, how am I going to advocate for patients if I can barely voice out my own concerns about my own situation? I was assertive and I was outspoken. I'm generally outspoken, guys, and I always say I don't tolerate bullying in the workplace. I don't tolerate bullying. I can't tolerate bullying. I can't tolerate injustice in the workplace. Those are the things that I'm unable to withstand. I truly can't. I can't keep quiet when it comes to those. People will say you are too outspoken. But yeah, she shipped me to another clinic that I worked very nicely with the manager there until I left DOH because I wanted to leave DOH because I wanted a bigger room to live in, because I had grown. That was the reason I left my previous DOH job. So that is my Comserve experience. I think what you need to take from me is that you need to be assertive. You need to voice out your concerns. And at times your manager might not be willing to listen, but make them know that you do have an option. Like if they're not willing to listen, I bet there is someone on a hierarchy of communication in the department that would be able to listen to your concerns. And it's okay for you to actually request to be shifted if you are not meeting your objectives. Please write those emails, write those letters, and let the department know that you are not meeting your objectives in those particular institutions and you're not getting the support that you need. And also, at times, you won't be everyone's favorite. Be okay with that. Alright, so I want us to get into your comments, your experiences that you left for me on Instagram. Someone says these old nurses are toxic. They criticize and they gossip. I like in the last clinic that I worked in, I used to fight a lot with an older nurse who was working there, who's now like a mom to me. At times I tend to think it's a matter of us coming from different worlds in terms of generations, At times they really don't understand how we do things, and at times they want us to behave as their kids in the workplace. And the moment you kind of say, but then we are colleagues, why would you want me to behave like your child? It seems like, or it comes across as disrespectful towards them. But I think it's also important to try and understand where they come from. Even if a person criticizes, I think again criticizer, guys, I always have something to say, depending on how the criticism comes. Is it coming to destroy or is it coming to build? But guys, I respond. And in a workplace, I've also realized that I will have to respond to older people. Not because they are delela or because I lack morals from back at home, but because I need to show them that I'm not a child here. Here I'm a registered nurse, here I'm here to work. Here, me and you, we're on the same payroll and we should behave equally so. And someone says, I feel I should be learning, but the environment here doesn't promote that. I am worried. Address it with the operational manager. Address it with the rest of the nurses. And whoever who's willing to jump in and teach you, grab those people. Best believe your relationship with them is going to last you a lifetime. Someone says, I'm nervous, Nancy, just praying to meet good people who will be willing to teach and guide me. It is not always sweets and chocolates and roses when you get in workplaces. At times you get in disorganized workplaces and God wants you to be the one that puts in order. At times you get in disorganized work groups and God brings you in that particular place because God wants you to bring in order. So as you pray for good people, and also pray that, Lord, if the place I'm going to is not a good place, it doesn't have good people, please let me be the one that brings in that culture. And someone says, too much hate from old nurses because I'm independent and willing to learn. And the operational manager is very supportive. I said to this person that as long as you have the buy-in of your operational manager, then they are not important. They are not important because they are choosing not to teach you. They are choosing not to be there for you. So now we can classify them under the category of people who are not significant. As long as your operational manager has your buy-in, then you don't need anything else from anyone. Because I'd like to believe she's going to be there to assist you, to teach you, and also she's going to create opportunities for you to lead. And I actually had a conversation with this girl and I see a leader in her. At times, ECT abasigugileyo ozanele so the 30-year-olds who have been working for the past 6 years, we get jealous of seeing new young people coming in and taking up space because kaloku thina sohluleka. At times it's something like that. So don't let it get to you or make it determine who you are and what kind of a nurse you're gonna be. Someone says, I'm so anxious. I don't know if I'm ready to be independent. I'll be working at a PhD level. Han, you will not know until you get there, but best believe it's not going to take you a while before you are actually established in that institution. And yes, you are ready. If you were not ready, your school wouldn't have released you. So you are definitely ready, and all the best for PhD. PhD is amazing. PhD is fun. I love it. Someone says, it's been amazing, uncomfortable, fruitful and challenging, and I'm thankful. Uncomfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable because you are transitioning from one phase of your life to the other. And she says it's fruitful. That's what we need. We need to see the difference in our lives, that, oh, yesterday I was like this and today I'm better. And then she says it was challenging. Challenges also brings in growth. Without a challenge, you will not grow a muscle. The sisters I've worked with were so nice, very supportive and educative. Shout out to those sisters. Guys, shout out to my mates. Those ones who have been on the ground for the past 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. Shout out to you if you are imparting knowledge unto these upcoming generation of nurses. I know it is very easy for us to actually feel intimidated by them because they are great. They are dynamite and they carry vision, these ones, and they are proactive. So it is easy to find yourself being intimidated by who they are. But to those ones who do not let the feeling of intimidation stop them from imparting the knowledge, to those ones who do not mind to give on the baton unto the next generation, shout out to you guys. I highly appreciate you. And please continue, stop at nothing. Someone says, I will be working at a hospital. I am so anxious, praying for a healthy working place. Once again, we are praying for a healthy working place. If that workplace is not healthy, pray that God brings you in so that you can bring in health in that workspace. Someone says, overall, I'm grateful for the experience. Other than being short-staffed, I am happy. Shortage of staff, it's still a thing I can see back from my days and even in 2022, but I'm just grateful and glad that even with shortage of staff, you still got the opportunity to learn, you still got the opportunity to be given a chance to transition from being a Comserve into being a nurse. Someone says, Comserve has been amazing, just worried about unemployment next year. Someone says, I was trained on AYFS, adolescent and youth-friendly services at our facility, as our facility was not complying as part of the ideal clinic. Did I tell you guys that one of the reasons I left the sub-district that I was working for is because I wanted to run the AYFS program for the sub-district, and I was deemed not having enough experience. But at the same time, I was the one who was actually running the whole program. I remember when I left, on the year that I left, I had received a platinum status on Ideal Clinic for the AYFS program. I'm just saying it because this lady is speaking about implementing AYFS. It's such a beautiful program. It's such a lovely HIV program. And she's saying, I have to start the program as soon as possible. I am so anxious. I think you're going to enjoy it because you're a young person, you're a young nurse. You're definitely going to enjoy it because it actually means your patients are going to be young people. So shout if you need any assistance with implementation of AYFS. Someone says, completing my Comserve in 3 months, and I've realized that I don't see myself working for hospitals. That's the other thing with Comserve. You get to see. I think actually that's the nice part about Comserve, because with being a student, you don't necessarily get to experience it fully to say, how is it going to be here in the clinics? How is it going to be here for me in the hospitals? But with Comserve, yeah, I mean, you are literally going to work every single day. So you really get to assess to say, do I fit in here? Do I jam with this department? Do I like it here? Am I passionate about this department? Do I want to see myself beyond Comserve in this department? Do I want to stay 3 years? Do I feel like staying forever in this department? Comserve gives you that ability, that feel, you know. And so I understand very well when this person says completing Comserve in 3 months, and I realized that I don't see myself working in hospitals. She probably just saw that she doesn't fit, and it's okay to feel that way. But yeah, these are the comments that we got from Instagram, and yeah, we got a couple as well from Facebook, but I'm not gonna go through those. All I'm going to say to the Comserve nurses, you are awesome, you are brave, you are beautiful, and I want you guys to be courageous as you step in and step out of Comserve. I want you guys to be bold. I want you guys to be confident in yourselves. I want you guys to dream big. I want you guys to have visions and go after them. I want you guys to execute your goals. I want you guys to be financially educated and use your money correctly. Okay? No making financial mistakes in Comserve. Alright. Alright. Okay, that's it from me, your nursing big sister, Nessie. I will see you guys on my next one.